Hey, how you getting on? It's Cueball Brown, and today I want to show you Lichtlaerm Audio's brand new pedal power amp, the PandorA. So Lichtlaerm Audio have literally built PandorA's box, and I'd love to open it and see how it looks inside, but it's literally PandorA's box. And you will notice that the name PandorA is chosen very cleverly. It's a box, so PandorA's box, and P and A are in capital letters for power amp. So it's very clever, and I like that, and therefore this is the best one. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye! I'm certain you enjoyed that extremely original joke that I definitely didn't steal from Cowboy, and of course we're going to find out how the PandorA sounds in a sec. And you're probably wondering what all this stuff is about if I'm just trying out a pedal power amp. I'll explain that in a minute, it'll all make sense. The PandorA is a pedal-shaped power amp that I already said, and with the right power supply is capable of putting out 60 watts of power. And about the power supply, it uses a regular coaxial pedal power connection here, but it's not very picky about the power supply. The polarity of the power supply doesn't matter, and it works between 12 and 24 volts. And at this stage, I'd like to give a special little shout out to Adam Hall Company Palmer that supplied me with a suitable power supply to even use this pedal, because I didn't have a 12-volt power supply because I'm not a huge pedal guy. And the cool thing about this one is it works with an IEC cable. So none of this wall wart bullshit. I hate these. Anyway, power supply is important here because it can generate up to 60 watts in output with the right power supply. So that is a power supply with 24 volts and assuming 100% efficiency, which is impossible, 2.5 amps in output. At 12 volts, the maximum output it has is 30 watts. So I haven't got confirmation from Daniel Ringel yet because I haven't got a hold of him. He's a brilliant engineer and brilliant pedal builder, but still his designs need to obey the laws of thermodynamics, so it can't put more power out than it receives. And with this Palmer power supply, I have it set, this output set to its maximum voltage of 18 volts. And if I understood the data sheet correctly, it puts out up to 250 milliamps at that stage. So the most that this power amp generates in this configuration is 4.5 watts, but that's more than enough. You'll see that in a sec. This pedal is designed to sound and react like a guitar amp's power amp, so it's not a neutral solid state power amp. And that's why I've got this setup here. I would like to try this out with a modeler. I have my FM3 down here. And the camera on the FM3 has died, which is pretty cool. Hold on a sec. So here's my FM3 on the floor, and I have a Engel Z12 switch to switch the KHE amp switcher. I'm using a preset I made of the FM3's VH4 model because I think that sounds great. It's boosted, and I've turned off the power amp simulation, the power amp modeling for this because we have power amps. So to me, the main use of this power amp pedal would be to work with modelers or preamp pedals, and that's what I'm going to do now. And to see if it really sounds and feels like a guitar power amp, I'm going to shoot it out against the power amp of this EVH 51, 53, 50 watt. So the FM3 is going into the KHE switcher, and on LED 1 it's going into the PandorA, back into the KHE, and into this Mesa oversized cabinet here. On amplifier 2, the FM3 is going into the effects return of the EVH 5153, into the KHE, and into the Mesa oversized. So I'm going to switch back and forth between the two power amps just to see how valid that claim is, that it sounds and feels like a guitar power amp. And later I'm going to try a different application for the power amp, but I'm not going to say anything about that now. I'm just going to get my PRS CE24 and play some sloppy riffs. Let's set this up first. Let's turn this on. Sounds cool, but it's a bit quiet still. That's pretty loud already. It has a presence and a depth control. Let's see what they can do. Presence is pretty powerful. I like it high. I like our bright sound. Depth. Thickens up nicely. Let's see how it compares to the EVH5153. The problem is with the EVH5153, none of these volume knobs do anything if you go into the effects return. They're pre-effects loop, as I found out. So I wonder if we can get the Pandora as loud as the 5153. I hope so. Let's with the 5153. Not huge volume differences, but it sounds brighter and a bit more aggressive. Let's see what we can do with these dials. The EVH feels a little more bouncy. I'm not sure what to do with the depths here. Maybe let's up that a bit. So they don't sound the same, and that's not the objective. This is a 50-watt 2 power amp. This is a solid-state power amp that's probably running on less than 5 watts in this mode, but is capable of so much more with a higher power supply. But still, I'm surprised how well the solid-state pedal power amp compares to the full-sized 2 power amp. And it doesn't feel much different either. There's a slight difference in the low-end response. But it's not a difference in quality. It's just a different flavor. So, pretty cool. I just want to jam a bit more. There's another use case I can think of for this power amp other than being the power amp for a modular or a preamp pedal, and that is for wet, dry, wet rigs. And I've never built something like that, but the Prometheus, the Lichtlaerm Audio Prometheus has a line out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this EVH5150 away from here, put the Prometheus there, connect the line out of the Prometheus to the PandorA power amp, and feed a separate cab with that and put a reverb on that. I've never done that before. Might sound like ass. We're going to find out. Hold on. All right, so I've got the Lichtlaerm Audio Prometheus set up here. That is going into the Mesa Oversized now. I can't see my monitor screen, so I don't know if I'm on camera. And the line out of the Prometheus is going into this other Lichtlaerm Audio Prometheus, the Untiefe reverb pedal, the only effect pedal I own. That is going into the Lichtlaerm Audio PandorA, which is going into the Marshall cab over there. And I've never tried this, and if this sounds like ass, it's definitely not an indictment of the pedal, but my skills. Let's see. Well, first of all, the Prometheus sounds like... Nice high gain goodness. Let's switch in the PandorA next. Yeah, this is sick. Sorry, this is so cool. No idea how this comes across in the room. I hope it doesn't sound awful, but in the room this is so much fun. Bald man discovers wet dry rigs for the first time. I've never done that, and geez, if I'm jamming in the room in future, I'm gonna have to set up like this because this sounds so funny. This is so much fun. So yeah, the PandorA is a great little power amp. I enjoy it very much, and I think I'm going to use it a lot more for recreational playing. Now, one thing I have to say, I can't just be kissing butt, is I find it a little strange that there's no LED on it. Like, there's no indication that it's actually on or receiving power. You'll only notice that because you hear a little bit of hum coming through the cab, and then you might get the fright of your life if you just strum a chord. Other than that, I have no complaints. I think this is awesome. I'm definitely going to use this some more. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. This time for real. I hope to see you next time. Bye!